couch, dogs, me, guitar lessons. Hey there, Lick and Riffers, how are you doing? Welcome to another full fingerstyle arrangement lesson right here on Lick and Riff, and this time it's going to be a spectacular lesson because we're going to learn my fingerstyle arrangement of Sultans of Swing. This is a Christmas special, Christmas 2015. I promised you a grandiose lesson, and this is going to be one. So first I'm going to play you my arrangement. It's full. It's got all three solos, the beginning, the ending, and the middle solo, plus 3 full verses with lyrics, chords, and Mark Knopfler's amazing licks. First I'm going to play you the arrangement so you can see and hear how it goes, and then we're going to break it down lick by lick with tabs right here on the screen. Take a deep breath, get your fingers ready, because this is going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So it goes like this. Enjoy. get to work. Put on B minor. Okay, play strings 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you rake the strings. You can rake them with one finger, you can do an open fan movement, okay, or it really doesn't matter which, it's just for effect. And then you start the rhythm. Now the basic rhythm here is always bass, chord, hit, chord. Bass, chord, hit, chord. Bass, chord, hit, chord. Now you can also strum the strings when you hit. Okay? So that's your rhythm, and you fill it in every time you have free space. Now, you start with this. Okay? After the rake, you play the chord, and then you start the rhythm. Okay? So, chord, rake, chord, bass, chord, hit, chord, bass, chord, hit, chord. Okay? Play the rake, then the chord, then you start the rhythm. Okay? Then your first lick, it's this. Okay? We're gonna break it down and just play the licks, then I'm gonna play it together with everything. Just know that with everything you play, you can harmonize with the rest of the chord. So, it's 2 on the 3rd string, 4 on the 4th, and then again. Then it's 2 hammer on to 4 on the 3rd string. Okay? So it's okay? That's with the rest of the accompaniment. Now, I assume that you're qualified enough in fingerstyle to know where to add the chords and the bass, because if we're going to discuss putting the bass notes and the rest of the chords and whatever we need to pick at every given moment, we're never going to see the end of this. This lesson will take 20 hours. So I'm just going to tell you which chord to pick. If you need to pick specific strings, I'm going to tell you which strings to pick. And the rest of the time, we're going to talk about the licks themselves. Okay? We're going to talk about the licks and chord changes. So, that's the first lick. Okay? Still in B minor. Then, still in B minor, it's this. Okay? It's hammer on from 2 to 4 on the 4th string. And then 4 on the 3rd. Now you can also vibrate it, okay, using your pinky, but a very, very slight vibration, so you don't vibrate the whole chord. And then this is all inside the chord. It's B minor, strings 4, 2, 3. Okay, big. Mark Knopfler is very, very big on arpeggios. Then another arpeggio. Okay, strings 3, 2, 1. Then your pinky goes to 5 on the E string. Then you take it off. And then you play strings 1 and 2, still on B minor. Okay, all of it was in B minor. Just the pinky on 5, 4. Just a moment there. So again. And then 2 hammer on to 3, pull off to 2 on the 2nd string. And then 4 on the 3rd string. And that's the intro solo. So we're done with the very first part. So again. 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. You fill in the rhythm. And then the chord. Then again the chord. 5 on the E string. Still the chord. Then a hammer on pull off on the 2nd string using your 2nd finger. That's the very first part, the intro, so congratulations to you. You started playing the arrangement of Sultans of Swing. Now let's discuss the verse a little bit before we start playing it. The way we're going to learn this is this. All 3 verses are the same. I condensed it into 3 verses instead of 6 verses because then the arrangement would have been boring because it's very, very repetitive. So it's 3 verses. All 3 verses are the same chord progression and the same melodies. Now we're gonna learn the first verse in full, and then we're just gonna change the licks. We're gonna play the same verse, but where there is a different lick to play, I'm gonna show you the lick, and then we're gonna put it all together. So we're gonna do it slowly and methodically, okay? So have patience. Right, so you start with B minor, and the lyrics are simply 2 on the E string, so you can play it with the chord. Right? Then it's A and G, and all of it is with an open E string, so it goes like this. Okay, so you put on A, you play it, and then you change to G6. You put on the G chord head, you put 3 on the second string and the open E string, and you play the E string first, and then 3 on the second string. You can harmonize it with the third string, of course, it's in the chord, so it's... And then you put on F sharp and you play strings 1 and 3. Okay, that's your lyrics. So it's B minor, A, G, F sharp. Okay, then you have the very first verse lick, which is this. Okay, got it? Back to B minor. So you put on fingers 2 and 3 on the second fret on the second and sixth strings. So you get this. Now your first finger and the pinky play 1 hammer on to 3 on the third string, and you harmonize with 2 on the second string. Okay, this. Now, to some of you this shape may look familiar, because if you take it up a fret, then it's a pretty useful shape for G, and it's used in a lot of fingerstyle arrangements. So you may have already played it. Just down on F sharp is a bit weird. Okay, but that's the solution I found. So you do it, and then you pull it off. Okay, the pinky back from 3 to 1 on the third string. Then you take your third finger, that's very important, and you slide it from 2 to 4 on the fourth string, and then you put on B minor again. So that's why you use your third finger, you prepare for the next chord. Okay, from 2 to 4 on the fourth, and you put on B minor, and you play the bass note with 4 on the third string, which is your next note of the lick. So, okay, third finger. That's the key to this lick. And then you do the same verse line. Okay, but you finish with the E string on F sharp, so you play 2 on the E string instead of strings 1 and then 3. That's the only variation. You finish like this. The first line, you finish with the E string on 2 on the second line. Then you play something like this. Okay, so it's F sharp, you play strings 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, and then on the first string 2, 3, 2, using your third finger. Now keep your second finger on 3 on the third string to keep the major chord sound. So it's Now, of course, you don't have to follow the arpeggios. You can just play the chord and then finish with this. That's a real important lick here. 2, 3, 2 on the E string. Other than that, it's your choice what to do here. So, and then 2, 0 on the E string, then D, then 2, 2, then 5, 5. Okay, so put on 5, 3, 2, and then it's D sus4, D, okay, 3, 2 on the E string, then it's A. You start with the open E string, you put on A in the meantime, and then you play the A bass, then you play strings 3 and 4, both on 2, so you get this. And then you play the bass again, that's the place in the rhythm, and you change to this. You bar the second fret for A, and the lick here is this. Into G. Now you can do it like this. Yeah, like I did in the example, in the demonstration at the beginning. It doesn't really matter whether you do one or the other as long as you play the lick. It's the bar A, and you play strings 2, 3, and 4 twice. Now you let go of the chord, you let go of the pressing of the chord to get the staccato sound. You don't want, you want this. Okay? So just stop pressing. It's that simple. And then you put on 3 and 4 on strings 2 and 4. You play strings 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so it's 3, 2, and 4. Okay, that's a part of the D chord here. Doesn't really matter, just you know, a bit of theory. And you either play this, you play it twice and then A again, or you alternate between the D and A twice. Okay, it's your choice. Then the open second, third, and fourth strings into G. Okay, so you have time to change the chord. And you keep on playing the G chord until you need the next line, which is 0, 3, 3 on the second string. And then 0, 0, 3, and then 3 again, but inside B minor. So put on the second finger there, and you have time to put on the chord. Not a lot of time, but time. So, got it? Make the change between 3 and 3. So, then you have this. So you hammer on 2 to 4 on the fourth string. Then it's the chord. It's strings 3, 4, 2, 3. Right? So hammer on the fourth. Then 3, 4, 2, 3. Okay? Then you have this. This. Now you can start with this G. No problem with that. But just for sound variation purposes, I play the open second, third, and fourth strings with the G bass. And then when I need to slide from G to A, I put on the bar shape and I play strings 3, 4, 5, and 6 and slide it. And then play A, again same strings, 3 to 6. And then, well, it's the first verse, so let's stop here. And you play this. Okay, slide from 7 to 9 on the bass, then 7 hammer on to 9 on the A string, and then 7 on the D string. And you start another verse. So let's go over the first verse. B minor, A, G, F sharp, then this shape. Slide back to B minor. Same line. Then only the E string and F sharp. Okay, 2, 3, 2. Then 2, 0 into D. D. 2, 2, 5, 5, 5, 3, 2. Open E string into A. Change to the bar. And then D, A, D, A. G. 0, 3, 3. 0, 3, 3, back to B minor. Then G, 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 A. Okay, the last G is barred because you have to slide it. So, or. Okay, but can you hear the sound difference? There's a slight sound difference, and it just makes for variation. So then you have to play this, and you start another verse. So we already know the lines. Let's just discuss the licks. So first line. Now the first lick here is almost the same as the first one, just with a different ending note. Instead of this, you play this. Okay? Now, this is Granted, not the original order of the song, but this is an arrangement. So I built the arrangement licks in a sort of a cascading logic kind of way. So it is interesting and not boring and repetitive. So it builds up. So you end up on 3 on the second string. So you do everything the same. You slide with the third finger, you put on B minor, and instead of the third string, you play the second string. Okay? That's all there is to it on the first lick. Then, second line. Okay, and then it's this. Okay, so it's all the way to F sharp. Then you play this. Strings 3, 2, 1, 2. Okay? Then on the first string you play 2, 5, 2, and then you play the open E string. Now, if you want to create an interesting sound, because it's just for a moment, you can play strings 1, 2, and 3, and then you get a 7th add 11 sort of chord here. Okay, it's F sharp just without the bar. Just make sure you leave the bass note on. So open first and second strings with 3 on the third. It's only for a moment there, so you can do it. It's not a mistake. And then you play this. Okay, it's 0, 2, 0, 2, hammer on, pull off on the E string, and then D. Same line. Same lick. Continues exactly the same. Okay? And then it changes. So let's just repeat the F sharp line. Strings 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 5, 2 on the E string. Open E string. You can harmonize with the chord because it's for a moment, and this also creates a bit of tension because you stop playing the chord in the accompaniment for a second and then come back in D. Which is already a strong spot. So, and it also gives you a bit of mental rest there for a moment, which is desperately needed, especially if you play it from start to finish. So, then when you get to the last B minor, you play this. You bar the 7th fret. You can put on the chord, but you don't have to. You can play strings 1, 2, 3, and 6. Just make sure you're not playing strings 4 and 5. You play strings 1 and 2. Then you put on 10 on the second string, and you play 10, 7 on the second string, harmonized by the third string. Okay, that's it. So that's the lick. So and you can also slide. You can play the slide as you move to the chord. Slide the bar. So okay. Create the effect that you want to create. Try it without the slide. Try it with the slide. See how you like it. And then of course you have, and then you play this. Okay, it's A barred on 5, as you can clearly see, and you play strings 3, 3, 2, 4. Okay, it's the lyrics again. Then you go back to the bar G and you play this. Okay, it's strings 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then it's strings 2, 3, 4, and 6. Okay, and then it's strings 3 to 6 again, with the slide to A, because then you get this. Okay, that extra note there. And then it's this. It's 5, 5 on the second string, and then you change to this A, just for convenience purposes. 5, 6, 7 on strings 2, 3, and 4, and the open A string, you have the pinky open. So you play the whole chord, and you hammer on 5 to 7 on the second string. Okay, then 5 on the second string again, you can harmonize with the chord. And then 5 on the second string again. Then you have the, how do we call it? The interim solo. Okay, it's strings 2 and then 3 and 4 in B minor. So before we play the interim solo, let's repeat the second verse. So, okay, and then again, but ending on 3 on the second string. And then is this. Into D. All the same. Slide to 7. Then. And then. Strings 3, 3, 2, 4. Then this. With the second string in between. Then 5, 5. Change to this. Hammer on from 5 to 7 on the second string. 5 again. Then it's B minor. Okay, strings 2 and then 3 and 4. Then you have the interim solo, the famous Sultans of Swing transition. Okay, it's simply B minor, A, and G, but you do it like this. B minor. Then you take the chord off, but leave the bar on, play strings 2, 3, and 4. Then the open second, third, and fourth strings, and you add the G bass at the end there, don't forget it. Okay, play the bass. Then it's G to A. And then you slide the bass note. Okay, and then D, and then A. And when you slide it, the fun thing about it is if you let go above the 12th fret, you get natural harmonics. So let me try to see if I can deliberately produce it. Hear it? Still ringing. So you get a kind of a transitional effect, an added effect. So you don't really have to do it, but if it produces itself by mistake, so... Okay, could you hear it? It still goes on. It's this note. So, D, A, and then this again. Okay? B minor, A, G, 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 A, A, and then this. You already played this. It's 7, 9, 7, 9 on strings E and A, then 7 on the D string. Then comes the first solo. So let's shake our hands if we need to. I know I do. And start learning it. Whew, okay, so it starts with this. B minor, second fret on the E string. That's the first line. Then it's 2, 2, 2 pull off to 0, and with the pull off you play the A bass. And then it's this. It's 3 hammer on to 5, and then 3 again on the second string. When you play the second 3, you play the G bass with it. Then you do the same thing with 2 and 3 on the second string with F sharp. Then the next line is this. So you're still here, and you build an F shape arpeggio. It's 4 on the fourth, 3 on the third, 2 on the second, 2 on the first, 6 on the E string. That's when you let go of this, okay, because you keep playing the bass. Okay, then you put on this. It's 9, 9, and 10 on strings 5, 3, and 1. Okay, 10 on the first, 9 and 9 on the third and fifth. This, or this, is F7. It's the B7 shape up here, but the solo note is this. So you play the chord with the note. That's the logic behind this peculiar shape. And then 9 on the E string, then you bar for B minor, and you play strings 1, 2, 3, and the fourth on 9. It's inside the chord, you have time to build it. So then it's 7, 10 on the second string, and with 10 you play the A bass. Okay, so it's A again. Then you go back here for G, you play, okay, 3 hammer on to 5, 3 on the E string with the G bass with the second 3. It's the same move as this, but only on the E string. Okay, but this time there's no hammer on F sharp, you just play 2 on the E string. So it's G, 2 on the E string, F sharp, then you can play the chord if you want, 2, 2, 3 on strings 1, 2, and 3, because you have just a little bit of space to fill, and then you have this D. Okay, so the shape is this. It's D. It's 5, 7, 7 on strings 1, 2, and 3. You slide into it with your second and third fingers, and you play the D bass note with it, and 5 on the first string, 7 on the second string, and then you take fingers 2 and 3 to 10 on the first and second fingers. I know this is confusing, but follow the tab and it'll all be clear. I'm just showing you the right fingering. So, and then, and you play 10 on the first, 10 on the second. Then, using your pinky, slide down from 11 to 9 on the third string. Okay? You're still on D. So, okay, so along with the slide, you play the D bass again. 11 to 9. Then it's 7, 7 on the third string. Then D again. So 5 and 7, 10. 11, 9, 7. One last time. And then it's an A arpeggio. Okay, it's this A, okay, here, C shape. So you play the A bass, of course, here, and you have this. 10, 9 on the E string, 10 on the second string, 9, 11, 9 on the third string, and then 10, 10 on the second string. Pretty straightforward here. And then you have this, this G. If you've been following my lessons, you know I use this shape a lot. 3 on the bass, 7 on the E string, and you have this. Okay, you play 7 on the E string, you can play it with the whole chord. Then you do this. Okay, it's 7 slide to 5, 3, and then 7 again. It's all on G, so uncomfortable, but there's nothing you can do about it. That's the best option I could find. The other option is to use the open G string as your bass note, but it really doesn't fit. It kind of ruins the whole mood because you can't play a chord with it. Okay? And for those of you who go, but you can use the G bass note on the A string, it's the same note. If you do this, it's the same note. So there's no going around it. Okay, uncomfortable, but it's only for a moment. And then it's this. It's the bar on 7 again for B minor. You play the second string first. Then you play the bass with 10 pull off to 7 on the E string. You can play the whole chord. Then it's the second string, the first string, and then you kind of pick strum the third, second, and first strings. Okay, like this. So then just pentatonic. 10, 7 on the second string, 9, 7 on the third. So the whole B minor line. Then you get this. G on the bass, and you play this. right? It's G to A, and you play strings 4, 3, 2, okay? And you play the bass with the third string. Then you pull off 3 to 0 on the second string. You bar for A, and you play strings 3, 4, and 5. Then is this. You pick strum the chord, strings 4, 3, 2. Then you're still barring A. It's 3 hammer onto 5, 3, 2 hammer onto 3, 5. Okay? So A, 3, 5, 3, 2, 3, 5. And then this again. Then you play this. Okay? The ending lick of this solo, the middle solo. So, and you play on A. You play strings 4, 3. Then on the third string you play 4, 2. Then you slide 4 to 6. You play A with it. Okay, that's the spot you're in rhythm-wise. Then it's 5 on the second string. Then you slide back from 6 to 4 on the third. Then it's 2 hammer onto 4 on the third string. Okay, pinky on 4. And you have time to change the chord because you play 4 again. And you put on the chord. You play the B bass. And you start this again. Okay, so let's go over that last lick again, and then we'll go over the whole solo. So pinky, and then you play this. Okay, the entrance solo. So, the whole first solo, B minor, A, G, F sharp, arpeggio, and then this string shape, B minor, A, G, F sharp. You just play the chord any way you want, then D, I'm playing it slowly, so you can hear when I'm adding the bass notes. Then A, G, B minor, G, A, G, A, pinky, B minor. And then you start the third verse. The third verse has a lot of different licks. So you start with the first line. And then it's this. Okay? So it's F sharp, 2 on the E string. You can play it with the chord. Then stretch your pinky to 6 on the E string. Try to keep the chord going. Okay? And you play 6, 6. Then it's this shape. Okay? 9, 9, and 9 on strings 1, 3, and 5. I showed you the logic before. It's B7 up to F sharp 7. So you just play it. And then B minor barred on 7 again. Okay, so it's 7, 7 on the E string. The second time, the chord starts again. And this time, you have the melody of the lyrics on the second string. And then you go back to A and G, just as usual. So again, the F sharp. just play the E string once and keep playing the second, third, and fourth, or the second and third strings for the lyrics. Now, the second F sharp lick is this. Okay? You take the bar off, and now you deliberately play the F sharp 7 and 11 chord. Open first and second strings, all the rest are F sharp. And this time you rake it, and this time it's preferable to rake it with the open fan movement, either like this or like this, any way you want. Just rake it. So you can also do this, down, up, down, whatever fits your style. Okay, I don't tell you what to do, I only show you my arrangement. So that's the second F sharp lick. And then you have D, then you have this. Okay, it's preferable to start it with the second finger. On the third string, you slide from 4 to 6. You then play 5 slide to 3 on the second string, but you have the third string ringing, so you get this. And you get both notes. You can also pick them using your finger. Okay, just hit both. And then the third string on 4. Then all of this was on A, by the way, so then you play both strings on 3 and 4. Okay, second string on 3, third on 4th. 3 times. The third time you add 5 on the 4th for an F shape, but this is a G chord. Okay, if you play this, you have the same notes. So, okay, this turns it into G. So, okay, now, I know this is a bit confusing, so let's go over it again. A, second finger on the third string, then the whole chord, and then the G bass using your thumb. Or you can change into a bar chord. Okay, but kind of ruins the flow of it for me, but it's doable. I don't know, both sound fine. And then, yeah, it's just this shape or this shape, G chord, and it's the lyrics are strings 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2. But the last 3 on the second string, the last D note is in B minor. So again, you make the move. Okay, between both D notes. But then, immediately you have no waiting time here. You start this. Okay, this line. It's 2 hammer on to 4 on the 4th. Okay, and then strings 3, 4. Then 3 pull off to 2 on the second string. Then 4, 4 on the third. It's again, all of it is in B minor, but you have to be really accurate. So you just have time to play this for a 16th note and then start the lick. So and then you have this. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. We've learned all this before, so final solo. You start with this. B minor, of course. But this time you have no waiting time whatsoever because it's this. Okay, it's all B minor, but with a bass change. B, A, G. Now, it sounds good because B minor, and then A, we're playing the open E string, and if we're playing the second string to harmonize it, it's A sus4, so it works. And then B minor over G is G major 7, so it still works. And this is why I chose to keep the B minor on. So B minor, right? 2 on the E string is the melody. Open A bass with the open E string. Okay, so you can harmonize it with the second string. You can also harmonize it with the third. Okay, it just sounds too embellished. So second string here suffices. Then second string, first string. Then G bass with second string, third string. Right? You can also harmonize the third with the fourth. Okay, to get the major 7 sound. So then strings 2 and 1 again on 3 and 0. And then it's B minor. It's this, rhythm-wise. 2 on the E string. Bass, open E string. And then it's this. Okay? For A. So 3 hammer on to 5 pull off to 3. Okay, and with the pull off you play the A bass. Then 2 3 2 on the same string. Then 2 4 2 on the third. Then on the fourth. Then 0 2 0 on the fourth. Then on the fifth. Then the B bass for B minor again. Okay, and you can play the chord once. Okay, and then you have this. Wait, let's play this again. Okay, B bass at the end, chord, and then this. Okay, it's the A bass with 2 pull off to 0 on the E string. Then strings, you're still with the B minor shape on. Strings 2 1 2 3, and then your thumb for the G bass or your first finger, whichever is comfortable for you. So B A G, and then it's A with this. Okay, it's hammer on pull off on the E string, 0 2 0 with A. Then 2 on the second string, and 5 5 on the E string, and you can play 2 on the second string with it. You can also bar the second fret for the fuller A chord, but there's no need because it's a fast lick. Okay, and when you play 5, you actually head and strum. That's the spot in the rhythm pattern. So okay, and you play it 4 times. Then is this. Okay, you bar 7 for B minor. You play 7 hammer on to 9 on the third string. Then right away the second string on 7, the first string on 7. And then 10 pull off to 7 on the second string, and then 9 on the third. And then it's 10 pull off to 9, pull off to 7 on the third string. And then it's 7 hammer on to 9 on the fourth. Then 7 and 7 on strings 3 and then 2. And then it's 9 on the third string with A. I know, it's confusing, but let's follow it again. Okay? Okay? Then it's this. You block strings 1, 2, 3, and 4. You use the second finger to play 7 on the second string, and you do this. Okay? Strings 4, 3, 2, and with the second string you play the A string. You can also do this. Okay, you can do a triplet. Okay, and then press the second string. I'm just mentioning this because that's what I did in the demonstration. It wasn't on purpose, it just, that's the way it flowed. But the original line is this. Okay, muted fourth, muted third, 7 on the second. Okay, and then you do the same thing with 8 on the second string, so it's 7 and then 8, both of them with the A bass. And then you play the fourth and third again, muted. Then, okay, with A, you slide from 8 to 10 on the second string, then play 9 on the E string. Then you slide back from 10 to 8 on the second string, and you play 7 on the E string. Then the moment most of you have probably been waiting for, this. You bar the 7th fret and you play this. Okay? It's not easy to do it fast. As you saw, I didn't play it perfectly in the demonstration, but with more practice it's doable. I just wanted to make sure I have this lesson in time for Christmas, so that part needed a bit more practice. I admit it, nobody's perfect. So, you bar 7 for B minor. The lick is this. 10, pull off to 7 on the E string. 7 on the second, 7 on the first. And repeat. Now, the method of doing this with picking it is this. Bass with 10. And then 10 with the strum. And then you repeat. Got it? Okay? Not easy, but very, very doable. Trust me, I've taught you things that are way harder than this. This is just not easy to pull off when played fast. That's all. And then you do the same thing, the same picking pattern with, okay, 12, pull off to 9 on the E string, 8 on the second string, and the A bass. Okay? And you do it twice. And then you play the first line of the solo again. And then I finish it with this, the B minor A G, famous Sultans of Swing line. And then I let my fingers and my hands and my wrists and my arms and myself rest for a week. Finally, we're done with the lesson. So before you go practice this, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I don't know what you're waiting for. I've got tons of lessons just like this one on the channel for free. Everything is for free. The tab is also for free. The link is in the description below. Go get yourself the tab. It's also for free. Everything on Like and Riff is for free. But if you want to give something back anyway, there's a large blue donation button right above the tabs on the website. You can't miss it. It's large, it's oval, it's blue. It says donate, and everything goes right back into Like and Riff, into making you these lessons. I try my best to make the best lessons possible, and it's only getting better because you've been very, very kind, and you're still very kind, and all donations go to making time to work on these lessons, on filming them, editing them, uploading them, the works. So, thank you very, very much for watching. Feel free to share this lesson with anyone you want. It's free, and the goal here is to have fun and play guitar. So, I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye for now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and Merry Christmas. Bye for now.